The saying, necessity is the mother of invention, was never truer than when the Rockhampton City Council determined it was running out of existing cemetery space and sought to create a new area for dignified interments. The city administration and planners started fresh, discarding the time-honoured concept of cemeteries, mainly because the age-old system was becoming increasingly expensive in terms of grave preparation, maintenance, and the security of headstones and gravesite adornments. As well, it was felt that the all-too sombre nature of traditional cemeteries was out of step as the city heads into a new millennium. Council commissioned a totally fresh approach to the new memorial gardens. Having chosen the land, thought turned to a collection of prepared groves which would be most economical and would maximise land usage. It was also found desirable to have each gravesite capable of accommodating at least 2 interments, always bearing in mind that the coffin bearing the deceased should be in contact with Mother Earth. Eventually, a crypt system was found to fit the need. A delegation from Council visited many cemeteries and burial grounds elsewhere in Australia. Information gained on these visits, combined with innovative problem solving, eventually led to the modular crypt system of burials. The new method permits optimal land usage with crypts placed in a series of groves, which also allows for tighter pre-planning to meet anticipated future need. It's important to realise that it is not necessary to utilise prime land for the establishment of the modular burial system. Poorly drained areas, rocky land, in fact, any ground deemed unsuitable for development can be put to the best use as a location for a burial facility. The old-style gravesite, once dug, with attendant risks to the safety of the 2 personnel generally required to prepare the site, would remain unsightly before, during and after the interment. The gravesite, using the new design, is restored almost to pristine condition minutes after the mourning party has departed. Maintenance of burial sites is dramatically simplified, with consequent maximum savings realised through the reduced requirement for labour. Perhaps the greatest benefit for the relatives and friends of the deceased stems from the fact that up to 4 interments can be accommodated in a one family grave. Therefore, as members progressively pass on, the family can be kept together, and always the coffin is in touch with Mother Earth. The numbers of crypt modules employed within any one grove area is determined by the land area allocated to that particular grove. It's important to remember that here crypts 2 high only are being installed, yet there is a capacity for multiple units to be installed in a vertical array. Should there be an urgent requirement for burials a few months apart, either a concrete shelf can be fitted to the lip, which has been cast in during the manufacturing process, or, if all traces of the previous burial have dissipated, an earth covering alone is all that is needed to separate the 2 interments. Once the grove layout is determined, the footing beams are marked out, excavated and poured, with consideration given to appropriate drainage of the ground. At one stage, early in the design process, it was thought that piers supporting the corners of the modules would be more economical. However, subsequently this proved not to be the case, and the beam arrangement is in use today. Each crypt module measures 2.5 by 1 by 1.5 metres and compares favourably with the traditional dug gravesite. Additionally, no access pathways are required between sites, which directly contributes a saving of from 50 to 200% of the available land for the same number of graves. Here you can see the attention to detail given to the placement of the crypt shells on the footing beams. The modules are constructed from reinforced concrete and are designed to fit within a few millimetres of tolerance. Therefore, it's vital their placement be as precise as possible, because over an entire layout, small errors can compound to produce larger ones. Notice the truncated corners of the cells and the way they fit together to locate one another and lock into place, thereby best utilising space and ensuring efficient sealing of the crypts. The sealing is ensured by the application of foam rubber jointing and a slurry grout poured into the interstices. Around the perimeter of the grove, use is made of side and end plates to complete the walls and maximise the number of crypts. Essentially, for the price of one crypt module, and given the modular assembly, you get 2 crypts for the price of 1. The lids having been fitted, a layer of sand is applied, and finally, soil to a depth of 200 millimetres and turf to complete the grove burial area. The design of the vertical walls incorporates a ferrule in the centre top of the end plate. Into this is screwed a stainless steel threaded rod bearing the small stainless steel identification disc. This permits adjustment of height following top dressing and grassing, ultimately setting the disc at just the right level. Come the time for an interment, a template is laid on the turf directly above the cell, using the disc as a guide. The sod is cut with a pneumatic spade. This ensures the soil on either side of the blade is compacted to prevent crumbling. Another inner template frame is used to ensure accurate location of the lift points precast in the lid of the crypt below. The turf, soil and sand cores corresponding with the lift points are cut and reserved for later replacement. An additional frame is hammered into place within the primary template. This will stabilise the edges of the turf, soil and sand atop the lid to be lifted. A specially designed gantry is moved into place. Straps are affixed to the lift points in the cell lid and the lift is completed. The surrounds of the opened crypt are then prepared and the mechanism for depositing the coffin within the grave is assembled as done in a normal burial. Vehicular access is not necessary in the grove area, the coffin being borne by pallbearers to the grave site. As is evident, the entire site is clear of unsightliness, it's dignified, even reassuring. Following the departure of the grieving party, bioactive soil is deposited over the coffin and the top of the cell is replaced. The site is neat, easily maintained, will not require a subsidence period, and above all, is tranquil and dignified, anticipating early visitation. The stainless steel identification disc is engraved with the surname of the deceased and the place code number. A plaque of standard size with a personalised inscription is installed in the memorial wall at the entrance to the grove. This plaque also bears the place code number in one corner for easy location of the crypt to which it refers. This is arguably the most efficient interment method available anywhere in the world in terms of land usage, maintenance and cost per crypt, with the advantages of multiple use